everyone, I'm Rihanna Beg, Editor-in-Chief at Machine Design. I'm joined today by Andrew Zosel, Senior Vice President and General Manager at Zebra Technologies, where he's responsible for the advanced data capture, machine vision, and robotic automation businesses. When we met at a trade show earlier this year, Andrew showed me new advances in vision-guided robotics, 3D and AI deep learning, as well as array scanning using multiple cameras. We talked about how Zebra Technologies is tapping into deep learning, specifically with edge cases, for example, the use of AI in a smart camera form factor. Andy is truly the ideal subject matter expert when it comes to developments in machine vision and its interfaces with computer vision. And I'm so grateful to have you here, Andrew. Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to talk again.
Absolutely. Why don't you frame the conversation for us by just telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at Zebra Technologies?
Sure. Yeah, I've been in the machine vision and fixed industrial scanning business for well over 25 years. I joined Zebra Technologies, responsible for the three business units that you mentioned, our scanning and machine vision and robotics automation business. A little over a year. We're really excited about the things that Zebra is investing in this technology to help, our customers use them in a exciting new ways to create new ways of working for our customers. And in addition to what Zebra is doing specifically, we have a lot of uh, industry kind of things happening both from our customers' perspective and from the actual technology and products capabilities. So even though machine vision is been around for quite a while, it's definitely an exciting time to be in the industry, as you mentioned, kind of all those innovations that we got to see at the recent trade show.
Yeah, that is a really great segue to what I really want to ask you about as well. And that was Zebra's machine vision offering has a unique history and fit within your company and your
Mhm.
portfolio. What can you tell us about the strategy behind building out this part of the business?
Yeah, so Zebra Technologies is known best probably for both our printing capability, our industrial printers, very robust and reliable industrial printers used throughout the world, as well as our scanning and mobile computing technology, which came through an acquisition from Motorola a few years back. And so those technologies really help our customers around like asset visibility, traceability, barcode scanning, barcode printing, et cetera. And what we saw is a lot of our customers were looking for more than that, right? They're looking for not only, where is the product, but what is its condition and other things, other drivers like, the lack of skilled labor and automation has made our customers look more into technologies that would help them with productivity in their processes. So we've invested significantly both organically with our own internal developments coming from our existing teams in new cameras and vision and machine vision, fixed industrial scanning products. But also we've made a couple of significant acquisitions over the past few years in this space, including Adaptive Vision out of Europe, as well as company called Matrox out of Canada. And we brought those three pieces together, both our organic investments as well as those other two businesses, into our current business and machine vision today, um, having both, kind of a relatively new position in the market as Zebra, but also a very, very strong legacy of technology capability from those acquisitions.
Tell me about some of the through the new acquisitions over the past couple of years. What are some of the hardware components and what are the software components? How are you bringing this all together?
Yeah, so fundamentally, as we talked about the camera and the computer, and you need lens, you need lighting, you need some fundamental pieces to make a system effective. And through these acquisitions, the biggest and most important part is still the software and the algorithms and the capabilities from that perspective. So that's a lot of what we've focused on developing and both acquired, especially the traditional machine vision capabilities that are, the deterministic algorithms or however you want to call them, and also a lot of development, of course, in AI and specifically deep learning. But basically, you can make these systems work through a variety of ways. The simplest would be like what we call a vision sensor or a smart camera, which is fully integrated lens, light, computer, everything in one product. And we offer those type of products all the way to, completely disaggregated type systems where you've got multiple um, parts that come together. We could uh, talk about like a frame grabber board in a high-end PC with a separate set of high-end cameras with separate lighting. And again, it's the same basic architecture of lighting, lensing, processing, and compute, but it depends on the integration as well as the performance requirements of the application. And
Mhm.
from Zebra perspective, we offer all of the above, right? And a lot of what our platform advantages are that we have that scalability to offer everything from kind of your basic simplified we would call it maybe plug and play type product all the way up to a very complex high-end system doing either extremely high resolution or extremely high speed processing or both.
Great. What's next for Zebra? What's your long-term vision?
Yeah, yeah, our vision for vision. Fundamentally, we're looking to help our customers, right? We want to help our customers find ways to meet the challenges that they're having, right? They're having challenges in packaging and sustainability and thinner plastics and paper-based packaging and whatnot, moving away from plastics, those type of things. And so helping them with that inspection and that evolution, providing products and platforms that are scalable towards that. So in other words, you may start with 2D machine vision today, but you want to make sure you have scalability to 3D and doing more advanced. A lot of our systems and efforts are around creating that scalability and providing that path for our customers. In addition to that, we're looking at how do we make our products even more easy to deploy, easy to integrate with robotics automation, easier to integrate with material handling systems and the and those type of applications, as well as continuing to come up with clever ways that deep learning and AI and different imaging technologies can be used for our customers to help in their applications. So there are still a lot of applications out there that are um, kind of out of reach just based on the current technology, but we see that opportunity continuing to be evolved. In other words, um, there's still a lot of people around the world that are day in, day out looking at parts, at the same part every day, day after day for multiple hours a day. And in that general case, we think, at some point those applications will be uh, a good opportunity for us to help our customers, kind of automate and augment that way of working.
Indeed. Thank you so much for your insights, Andy. It was really a pleasure to talk to you again.
Yeah, likewise.